Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making this guy. So this is a face mask, but it's a bandana style. It stops, you know, if kids wear glasses. This is a child's and this is an adult one. The adult one we'll do in a separate video. Today we're going to do this child's one. This is a cotton, so it's nice and breathable. This is what I used. The color is Wisteria. I don't know if you can read that. Let me zoom in. Wisteria. It's calls for a 4.5, but I'm going to use a 4. It's a 4 weight, medium cotton. So it's nice, it's breathable, it's light, and I figured, you know, kids have to go back to school. They're going to want to put something on their face. They're not going to want to put a mask on. They're not going to want to put, but they do need face covering of some sort. So that's why I designed this. Nice and breathable. Let's get started. So you're going to need a 4mm or a G hook. You're going to make a slip knot. Let me turn my light up here. So once you've made your slip knot, you're going to chain 2. In the first chain, this one here that you did, you're going to put 2 double crochets. So I don't know if you did hearts with me at all, or my other bandana bibs, but we're going to start these the exact same way. So 2 double crochets, you can tighten your slip knot. You're going to chain 2. You're going to turn this little guy. So this is down. You've got 2 stitches here. This one's an awkward sideways-y stitch. But you're going to put 2 double crochets into each of those stitches. So we're increasing right off the hop. So this one you're going to have to kind of turn. Make sure you're getting down both pieces of yarn. That's probably the only time you're going to struggle with a stitch. Should be fine from here on. Chain 2. So you're going to put 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 2 double crochets in the last stitch, and then just regular stitches in between. This is how we do our increase. And then just regular. And then 2 doubles into the last stitch. So make sure you're actually getting into the stitch or you're going to have a big gap space. Chain 2, turn your work. Round 4 is just going to be 1 single crochet in each of these 6 stitches. Starting with the first one. That first one you kind of got to pull this chain 2 sideways to see it. So I lied when I said it might be the only time we have trouble with that stitch. Chain 2, turn your work. So we're going to do another increase row for round 5. So in this first stitch, you're going to put 2 double crochets, and then you're going to put single double crochet stitches all the way across. So each row is increased by 2. And then this last stitch gets 2 double crochets. Chain 2. During your work. Round 6, same thing. Round 7, 2 double crochets in the first stitch, getting 2 pieces of yarn mixed up in there. So you should have 8 single, double, 1 in each of the next 8 stitches. Eight stitches, and then the last stitch is going to get 2 double crochets. Chain 2, turn your work. Round 8, 2 double crochets in the first stitch, you should have 10 stitches to put 1 double crochet in. Two double crochets in this last stitch. Chain 2. Oops. Turn your work. If you want the written pattern, this is going to be up in my Etsy store. Round 9. There are 17 rounds, so we're on round 9. 2 double crochets in the first stitch. You're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 12 stitches. 2 double crochets into the last stitch. If you have followed me long enough, you know how much me and the last stitch do not get along. Chain 2, turn your work. My camera shut off. So we're on round 10. 2 double crochets in the first stitch. And 1 double crochet in the next 14. So it increases by 2 every single time. So if you wanted to work ahead of me, going to round 17. We're on 10 right now, so you got 7 more rows of this. Actually, that's not true. You've got 14 more rows of this. So you've got 4. We're doing 14 of this. You've got 4 more left before we just do 1 double crochet in each stitch. So that's how this is going to play out. And then the ear pieces, obviously. So it's a pretty fast pattern. You could probably do a few of these in a day. It'll only take about 40 minutes for a beginner, I would imagine. It only took me about 20 minutes to make. 2 double crochets in this last stitch. Chain 2, turn your work. Oh, I'm going to lose my ball. I'm going to start changing colors soon. That's a nice part about this wisteria. Just, I mean, not for boys, obviously, but it just changes such nice colors. So we are, what are we on? We're around 11. 2 double crochets in your first stitch. And you're going to put 16, well, a double crochet in the next 16 stitches. So this will be in my Etsy store. If you wanted the written PDF that you can print out and keep, go. Probably have this out for just a couple of bucks. And then the adult version, which I tried to just kind of make where it fits a number of different size faces. But you might have to adjust, and the same goes for kids, for the ear holes, because not everybody has the same size of ears. 2 double crochets in the last stitch. Chain 2, turn your work. Round 12. So we're coming to the end. 2 double crochets in your first stitch. Then you're going to do 18 double crochets across. I also use this stuff to make my microwave bowls. My microwave, or my bowl warmer things you can use in a microwave. Because if you don't use cotton, then you're gonna burn yourself. This is great yarn. I love it, and I love the colors. So 2 in the last stitch, chain 2. Turn your work. Round 13. So first stitch gets 2. I know I shouldn't have to keep repeating it, but so in the next, what are we on? 13, next 20 stitches, 1 single or 1 double crochet. And then 2 double crochets in the last stitch. Chain 2, turn your work. So round 14, the last increase row, I'm going to put 2 double crochets in the first one. Then the next 22 stitches, you're going to put 1 double crochet into each. Two double crochets in the last stitch, maybe. Chain 2, turn your work. So for the next 3 rows, you're just going to put 1 double crochet into each stitch. You should have 24 stitches. I know, you should have 26 stitches, I think. So for the next 3 rows, we're just going to put 1 in each, including this one at the beginning. Alright, so I've come to the end. So you can see how it's straight here. And then it goes in. So you're going to need this for a reference point. So So from here you're going to chain 15. That's not an exact number either. I mean, you could probably get away with doing 20. You're going to have to measure around your child's ear. So I did 20 for this one because this one I did 15, but my granddaughter has a very large head. So you want to go 2 rows down, so 1, 2. So we're going to be single crocheting, not double, so single crocheting around the entire project. So we're going to attach our ear thing. We're going to single crochet, and then we're going to come back up to the same spot that we went in. So you just want to make sure you get to that same spot. Depending on your measurements for your child's ear, I'm going to go in, that's 1 row and 2 rows, so I'm going to go in just below this stitch right here, and I'm going to connect. It's just below the 2nd row. So when I come back around, I'm going to stop in this stitch just below the 2nd row, and I'm going to do my chain for the other ear. So that's the plan. So that's my ear piece. So wherever you can get your hook in, you're just going to put a single crochet. This doesn't have to be precise because you're not following any stitches. You can also unattach and reattach if you don't want to, but these single crochets just kind of clean up the edge a little bit, you know, just to make it nicer. Try not to pull tight because you don't want it to roll. So we're just gonna loosey-goosey single crochet till we come back around to the bottom of the 2nd row. When you get down to this part, put 2 single crochets in there and try to weave in this end. The 2 should keep it nice and pointed but round at the same time, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to put 2 in that stitch. So it just kind of gives it a nicer look than if you just put 1. So I'm just about at this stitch right here. So that's 1 row, 2 row. This is the stitch at the bottom of the 2nd row. So I'm going to go into that, and then I'm going to chain 20, or whatever your number is. And then I'm going to come up here to the top of this stitch, and I'm going to do a single crochet, keeping my work tight when I do that. And then even though I have stitches here, I could fasten off, but I'm going to fasten off over here. So I'm going to do another row at the top, at this time it's just going to be single crochets, because underneath it are double crochets. So I'm at my last stitch. It's going to get a slip stitch, and I'm going to fasten off. Make sure you pull your knot nice and tight. So you can just tuck this guy away. Now you can use either side of this mask, so since you can use either side of the mask, we're just going to neatly tuck this piece away up in the stitches. That way you don't have to really be too concerned about which side you're putting on your face. Unless you're going to embroider something on this, or like little flowers for girls, or you're going to put an applique on it. You know, maybe a little heart, or, you know, something. Lots of ideas for kids' masks. And then this, where I weaved it in, I'm just going to snip it off. It's not going anywhere. And there you have it, your little child's bandana mask. So, the adult one that I made, my husband wore it for a bit, and he said it was great. It was nice, it was breathable, it was light, it was like you didn't have something on your face. And when he wears glasses, he said he started breathing heavy, and not once did his glasses fog up because the air is able to get underneath this. But the face is also well covered in case you're touching it after you've touched the surface, accidentally touching your face. So because kids are going to have to wear them when they go back to school, they might as well be comfortable. So this was my idea. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you in the next video.